Hi, I am Sir Yetti, the Scribe. These are some of my personal stories of my lucid dreams. Some are prophetic, others aren't. I will let your spirit of discernment guide you. Sit back and enjoy. Then, buy my comedy series. Links in the bio. They're coming. Don't be fooled. It was a bright, sunny day here in Georgia. Nothing seemed unusual. I was aimlessly strolling through social media posts when, out of nowhere, a giant UFO appeared. The sheer brilliance of the spacecraft was breathtaking. It was colossal, large enough to blot out the sun from the sky like an oversized artificial cloud. The ship's composition seemed forged from some otherworldly metallic material. As it began its ponderous descent, you could discern hues of gray, maroon, and tan within what could only be described as a compound substance utterly alien to this planet. Lights danced across its surface like a frenetic disco ball in a 70s nightclub. For some reason, I found myself on TikTok, inexplicably drawn to the psychic readers. It felt as though they possessed some connection or insight into the unfolding event. But I know this now. They were all fooled. A trickster spirit was 100% behind the manipulation of their messages, feeding that specific demographic who follow such news. As the ship settled in an open field bordering my backyard, its presence felt distinctly militaristic. Driven by pure curiosity, my older brother, mother, and I approached the enigmatic vessel. My dad remained seated on the screened-in deck and yelled out, "I won't go there if I were you." I defiantly scoffed back, "I got this." Even now, awake from the dream, I wish I had heeded that wisdom. Yet, even if I hadn't wanted to go, I felt compelled, destined to witness the events that would follow. I am still processing them. I looked around. Both my mother and my brother had retreated, leaving me utterly alone before the craft. The massive doors slid open soundlessly. I entered the ship, stepping into what could only be described as a vast, cavernous rotunda. Astonishment washed over me at the alien architecture and incomprehensible technology surrounding me. The air felt unnaturally crisp against my skin, and an insidious unease began to creep into my bones. I hesitated, yet pressed onward, feeling an invisible instruction to turn around. When I did, I was no longer alone. Behind me stood religious leaders of every conceivable kind: Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, Catholic, and every other faith under the sun. They all wore their traditional clerical garb. It felt like 1 to 200 diverse religious figures were filing in behind me. The next part still has me shook. I stood at the very front of this gathering of global spiritual leaders. In the immense rotunda, silence became deafening, thick with palpable uncertainty. Then I heard it. The sharp, deliberate click of high heels striking the polished floor. Someone approached with an imposing, almost suffocating presence. It was a woman, towering around 6'5" or 6, with long flowing black hair and utterly black, depthless eyes. Her eyes looked profoundly dead, as if she possessed no soul. She seemed synthetically augmented, unnaturally muscular, clad entirely in a severe black dress. As she drew near, her domineering aura visibly cowed many of the leaders into submission. All the religious figures began to kneel like peasants before a king. They assumed a uniform posture: right knee on the ground, left knee raised, palms flat on the floor, heads bowed low. At first, I refused to bend the knee. Yet again, I was made to feel I needed to comply with the rules to witness the impending revelation. Still, in an act of rebellion, I knelt differently than the others. Since I was positioned directly in front, the woman strode straight to me and barked, "Are you here to worship or to be worshipped?" I met her lifeless gaze and, behind her, caught a terrifying glimpse of what approached. All I can say is, It was a silhouette of a man. It was blacker than 100 midnights, more terrible than your worst nightmare. Whatever it was evil incarnate. Get prepared, people. It's coming. I woke, unsure what to do. Again, I felt an undeniable compulsion to write this down and share it. So many questions flooded my mind. Did I do the right thing? Was I not supposed to bow? Then the messages started flowing in. Exodus 23. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. So you shall know that I am the Lord your God. Be not deceived,